What's up, people? Today I'm going to be talking about Shazam on Blu-ray and 4K. And before I even get into that, if you like this review, I do this all the time, and you can subscribe right down here. And if you would like to hear me review this movie, I actually went and saw it in theaters and did a video review that you can see right up here. And as far as the Blu-ray video quality goes here, this movie was shot all digitally, and that is something that Warner Brothers is doing for their DC films. Finally, there is no mixture between film and digital. It is all digital here, and you know, for the budget here, I feel like this movie comes across very, very well on home video. Something that struck me is they used a very blown out color palette for the majority of this movie, at least during the daylight scenes. And there was a great amount of depth here, and I definitely did appreciate that. And there was just something that stuck out just right off the bat here. And when you're talking about detail and as clarity goes, you know, detail here is pretty damn good. Specifically during the scenes where you actually get Shazam and you can see all the detail on his suit. I feel like even more here than in the theatrical version. Here it looks less of a just fakery here, and it looks more natural, and that is because of the amount of detail that is on that suit. And you can definitely see in close-ups just a whole lot of facial features and a lot of that kind of stuff. And then when you get into sharpness, you know, this is a very sharp-looking movie, and it was filmed digitally. I have no gripes there. And then lastly, when you get into the black levels here, some of them do dip more towards the gray side than the absolute black side. That is just something that happens sometimes with Blu-rays. And along with that, there is a small bit of aliasing around certain characters during black scenes, and that is just something that I noticed. It didn't take me out of it, but it definitely was noticeable. And for that, I am going to give this an 8 out of 10. And then when you're getting into the 4K copy here, we are actually given a 2K digital intermediate, so this is actually an upscale to 4K, but don't worry about it because we are also given Dolby Vision support here. And let me tell you, I fired up my Dolby Vision TV, which is a separate TV from my usual viewing for you guys. I have one strictly for Dolby Vision, but I just really noticed a difference with this 4K copy, specifically with the depth here, and that is largely stepped up in this 4K copy. The depth of field here is really, really great, specifically during scenes where you have a lot of the lightning going on in the foreground and the background, and a lot of the testing of the powers in this movie has a lot of depth to it. And everything that I mentioned as far as the detail here goes is stepped up in the 4K copy. You get a whole lot more detail as far as his suit goes, a lot more in sceneries and in backgrounds. I noticed that. And as far as HDR goes, this is the true standout here, and this is what you're going to want to check it out for, because a lot of the spectral highlights here are really blinding. And that is something that I kind of didn't expect just because of the budget here, but it is truly great. Specifically during the lightning effects coming out of Shazam's hands. Like during the scene where he tests out his powers at the school grounds, you can definitely see just the pop and the blinding light from those lightning strikes. That is truly great. And you can see it when it glows on his chest also. That is also amplified in Dolby Vision I really do like the Dolby Vision here. This is one of those Dolby Vision discs that you guys would actually want to pick up if you have Dolby Vision capable televisions. And then lastly, black levels are fixed here. No aliasing, always dipping to black. And for that, I am going to give this a 9 out of 10. It isn't reference quality material, but it is the next best thing. I really do like the 4K presentation here. And whether you pick this up on Blu-ray or 4K, you will get the same Dolby Atmos mix, and you won't have to switch it over to Dolby Atmos because I actually checked that out for you guys. This is the default for this disc, this Dolby Atmos mix, and it is awesome. Speaker separation is great here, and as far as the field of sound, it is really enormous. Height speaker work does seem to have a little bit of a bump there. You know, I would like to hear more height speaker work from this mix, but I did hear some when it came during to have the flying scenes and a lot of the action moments. The height speakers did definitely kick in. They just didn't come in with a punch. But the star of the show here absolutely has to be the bass response. I mean, the bass response here is killer, and it has so many different levels to it, so many different tones. This is absolutely phenomenal, and specifically when those 7 deadly sins talk, you can hear such bass in their voice. It is truly frightening, and man, this is one that I actually enjoyed more than in theaters, actually, and that is really very good to say. And for that, I am going to give this a 9 out of 10. And it was just a really great mix. And to get into the digital copy here, this is a Movies Anywhere digital copy, which means that you can download this on iTunes or on Vudu along with other services and grab that 4K copy there. And so getting into the special features, none of them are actually on the 4K disc. We don't have an audio commentary on any of the discs. There is only featurettes, but all of them are relegated to the Blu-ray copy, but you get a decent amount there. You get about a half an hour making of doc. There's another one that goes into like an anatomy of the scene. There is a third one that goes into what the characters went through on set. There's an introduction to Shazam. There is some gag reels. This is a decent amount of special features here. Unfortunately, none of them are on the 4K disc. I am actually going to give this a 6 out of 10. And to get into my last looks at Shazam, look, this is, to me, the best DC movie. It is the one that is the most coherent, and it is the one that flows the best. This movie definitely knows what it wants to be and sticks with that. It has clear arcs for its characters, and it is just an overall good time. And it is the one that I feel like I'm going to be coming back to the most. I love how these characters interact with each other very naturally, and Shazam as a character, I never felt like I was going to be that into Shazam. But you know what? Big as a comic book movie isn't that bad, come to find out, and I really did like it. And if you didn't watch my video review for Shazam, I gave it a 9 out of 10. And when you add up all my scores for Shazam on Blu-ray, you come out to a 32 out of 40, and on 4K, you actually come out to a 33 out of 40. I just felt that the video quality was a little bit more stepped up and refined in that 4K copy, and is definitely worth the pickup if you were trying to decide between the two. So, coming up next on the channel, I just got in Alita last night, and I already watched that for you guys. I'm going to be filming that right after this, and then I have to get into Hellboy, the 2019 version that came in with Alita as well. And then after that, I'm going to be going into a whole lot of Marvel, gearing up for the massive amount of Marvel 4K stuff that is going to be coming out later on in August. If you are excited about all of that, guys, make sure you subscribe down here so I can let you know when those videos come out. Make sure you click that bell as well. And comment down below if you have any other releases that you guys want me to check out. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. You guys are awesome. I don't even say it because you know it. And I will see all of you next time.